More powerful models are going to come from us and from others. And so we do need a plan to respond to this.
This model is able to create exploits out of 3, 4, sometimes 5 vulnerabilities that in sequence give you some kind of very sophisticated end outcome.
This is why hacks are about to explode with more powerful AI models. This is why I just switched to Caffeine.ai V3 running on the internet computer blockchain. Watch me live build an internal business tool with dashboard, charts, invoice management, just by talking, deployed on-chain, unhackable by design. Welcome to Made by Agents. My name is Tobias. Let's get started. What is Caffeine.ai? Caffeine.ai lets you build full-stack production applications by chatting in plain English. The unique value proposition now is that Caffeine uses a different programming language under the hood, developed by Dfinity, and it's called Motoko. And the backend is written in this language, Motoko, and it's the first programming language that's built specifically for AI. And as you can see here on the right, it's just a code example how a backend code file can look like. It's very similar to JavaScript from the syntax. But that's not all. The main difference is that the entire application lives inside a so-called canister. Imagine this as a kind of sandbox that's protected by design. There's no classical database. The application logic and all the data, everything lives in a canister. So the data is stored inside of the canister or a smart contract, you can say, and that runs across thousands of decentralized nodes worldwide. It feels more like permanent RAM than a classical database. And this canister lives on the blockchain. And here you can see that it's a network of multiple canisters that replicate the data across so-called subnets. And this makes it way more secure and almost impossible to change from the outside. On the front end, it just has access to the same tech stack as usual. For example, React, TypeScript, Tailwind, ShadCN, and so on. Motoko is just what's new and what's used for the backend. And yeah, everything runs as a tamper-proof canister directly on the internet computer blockchain, and is also directly hosted on the blockchain, which makes it mathematically secure, serverless. There's no traditional attack surface. And every node or canister in the so-called subnet stores the exact same copy of the data. Yeah, things like authentication, super easy and secure via internet identity and passkeys. We will see this later. Hosting is pretty cheap. Just the blob storage currently costs about $5 per gigabyte per year. Improvements are about to come to make this even cheaper. Apps are now fully exportable in this new version. There's no vendor lock-in. You can push this to GitHub and then work on this locally. And thanks to this programming language, you can make upgrades without risking a data loss. It's a huge problem in legacy AI building tools, I would say. So how does this relate to the latest news about Claude Mythos preview? So Anthropic just released, but heavily limited, the new Claude version, and it will be their most capable model yet. Will be above Opus, and it will excel at autonomously finding and chaining vulnerabilities in major operating systems. And the point is, more powerful AI means exponentially more hacks on traditional Web2 infrastructure, and Caffeine on ICP removes the vulnerable layer entirely. The difference to Replit, Lovable, Vercel, and other Web2 vibe coding platforms is that they operate on the traditional tech stack with centralized hosting, with separate databases, with a vendor lock risk, and they don't have a built-in data migration strategy. Caffeine and ICP, on the other hand, offer a decentralized on-chain hosting, which is infinitely more secure and tamper-proof, plus Motoko, which is built for AI, and orthogonal persistence, which means there's a guarantee of no accidental data loss on updates. plus internet identity authentication and full sovereignty, so you can export the code and run it independently. Yeah, built for AI from the ground up. And without further ado, let's get started and start building something. So you start here on this landing page and let's create a new account. You can see here the options, so you can log in conveniently with Google, but let's try this internet identity and create a new identity. So I already have one, so I click here and add another one and I use my Google account. It's as easy as that. So identity has been created and now click on continue. I need to complete the onboarding to claim your credits, so I will receive 20 free credits. Name, username, yeah, and I have to confirm my email again and we are in. Yeah, it looks very simple. We have the plus button which lets us select files. And then we have two different modes, instant mode and guided mode. I will turn on the guided mode, so then I will see more details about what's going on and about the thought process. And they even have a microphone button here which lets you transcribe your prompt. You click on this. I want to build an internal B2B procurement tool called ProcureTrack for managing suppliers. Include a dashboard with charts for spend and trends, suppliers management section, and a full invoices tab with invoice creator. And now let's send this over. So Caffeine will now run a discovery phase and you can see the reasoning here now. When you click on this, you see what it's actually doing in the background. It's trying to scan the project to understand the current state. Right now it's empty, so this will be quick. But if you start prompting into an existing project, then it will first gather the required context before adding something on top. Now it came back with a few quick questions. The invoice detail view. When a user clicks an invoice in the list, should they see a dedicated detail preview, or is the list view plus creator efficient? Then user roles. Do you need different permission levels? For example, view only versus can create, approve, or should all logged in users have full access? Invoice line items. Should each line item include quantity, unit price, and description, or just amount? Yeah, for the invoice detail view, the user should see a dedicated detail preview page. For the user roles, one role is enough for now. And for the invoice line items, I want the full details. And by the way, the transcription here is pretty accurate and quick, so hands down, really cool so far. And I think the interface is by far the simplest ever when you compare this to Replit or other tools. Yeah, it's very easy to learn, or you don't even have to learn it. You can just log in and you instantly will be able to use it. In the meantime, while this is working, I can show you the app market. So you can start from scratch with your idea, but you can also build on top of existing ideas that other users and the Caffeine team built. And it's pretty impressive what kind of stuff they have here. Example, kind of interactive map application, everything you can think of. A wallet for managing your trips, business tools, travel websites, dashboards. So we are back in the chat and here's what's coming. A dashboard with total spend card, monthly spend chart, suppliers section, invoices section. It already adds an authentication layer, internet identity login, protecting the whole app. And here it created a task list and is now going through it. And what's new is that it's now working on the backend first in a more structured way. And then after the backend is finished, it's building the UI and then connecting it and then verifying everything, running several quality checks, checking that everything works. And here to the right hand side, you will see the app preview as soon as it's done. Then you see here another tab, the specs. So it's a summary of what it's building with the key features. And then you have a code tab where you see file tree and all the different files generating. Right now in this version, you're not able to edit the code here. It is read only. Yeah, when you try to make edits, telling you read only editor, but you have this small GitHub icon here, and this allows you to push it to your GitHub, and then from there you can import this to your computer and work with Claude on this and whatever. Then here in the top right side you will see some analytics and domain management and a button to push it live. So it has a draft mode and a live mode, and when you click here on your user profile icon you can see instantly how many credits you have and how many credits you have left and when it's about to reset. So when you have a paid plan it will reset monthly. When you're on the free plan you will get 5 credits every day, and that's enough to run 2 prompts. Yeah, I tested this already. You can run 2 prompts. In case it fails, you will get the credits refunded or not deducted. You only get credits deducted when it runs through successfully, and 1 session costs 2 credits. So very easy to track, cheaper I would say than other solutions. Yeah, try it yourself. They also have different theme modes. I personally always prefer dark mode. Okay, so the preview is ready and it brought up some ideas for next time. An invoice approval workflow with sign-off history, bulk CSV import for suppliers, or spend analytics broken down by category. Okay, absolutely love it. So it's already recommending the next features that we could send off. And let's open this up, and we see we need to log in, and I assume we can use the same internet identity created before, and we just click on continue, and that's it. Authenticating, redirect the app. Now we are inside, built in a sleek dark theme, and it already seeded in mock data charts here, the top supply and our list invoice. We click on this, we have an invoice detail and we can edit this. Oh, something went wrong. We have a supplier tab here, active and inactive suppliers. Call this Caffeine. So I added Caffeine Army. Comment below if you're a member of Caffeine Army. And I click on this, I have also the details and edit delete. And now I can create an invoice here, and it gives me a number already. I invoice date, due date, tax rate, status, paid, notes, and then kind of we have here an invoice builder. Ordered some cables, then create invoice. Here we go. And then we also have an analytics tab. Analytics is coming soon. It's not built yet. See here, Caffeine Army is now leading. All right, pretty good start. Now let's see, from the design standpoint, I would like light theme. Please add a light theme to this dashboard with a toggle in the top right. Switch between light and dark theme. A dark theme is alright right now, but add a light theme. And add the invoice approval workflow with sign-off history that you just suggested. By the way, I think we can also sign in here in this preview window, and we can also make edits via this button here, pick on draft to edit, select something, and then we can give instructions. It's coming back with some questions again about the invoice approval. Should only specific users like managers be able to approve, or any logged in user? Yeah, usually I would say only maybe managers, but for now give everyone the approval rights. And then rejected invoices. When invoice is rejected, should it stay rejected permanently, or should there be a way to resubmit it for approval? Yeah, for now any logged in user can approve, and rejected invoices should not available for resubmission. Okay, our preview is now ready again. Now we have a few different statuses here. Now we can approve or reject it by a user ID or approve, and have our light theme. Yeah, click on this light theme or dark theme. Okay, now what I saw when I click here on mobile, see it's not really mobile responsive right now. Hey, I just saw on mobile preview that it's not mobile responsive right now. The dashboard cards, they should be in one column, not in two. Instead of the invoices list, I want to have a grid, and on mobile it should per default load in this grid view card instead of table with list items. Okay, our preview is ready again, and it has some more ideas for next. Adding a search bar to the invoices grid here, and a supplier detail page with the full invoice history. Okay, now we see it applied what I prompted it for, and here we should have grid view now. Still only see the list here. Okay, applied it now to this tab instead of the dashboard. Here we have view, and we go back on invoices, toggles automatically grid view. Now it's tablet. Okay, what's also new in this version of Caffeine is that here in this small navbar we see the full version. So we are now on version 3, because this is the third iteration or the second iteration, but the third output. And we can revert to the previous version if we want very easily. And then it will reset everything to the previous version. A quick recap here again on the new features. So the first one is it now has several sub-agents available. So the composer is what you're chatting with, and then it's spinning up backend sub-agent, designer, and then front-end validator, and then one who's deploying. Another thing that is way better now in scanning and reading your existing project and then building on top of it. Context is treated like RAM. This means that it only loads relevant context per task and then clears it afterwards. So that means you can build your project infinitely large. It will grow without hitting walls. Then the new building experience with version history, desktop and mobile preview toggles, and a live status bar. That's about it. What do you think about Caffeine V3 plus ICP? Is it the future? Yeah, check it out yourself. Go to Caffeine.ai. You have free credits. You can try it and let me know what you are building. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.